Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Jared Giants here, bringing you, as well with Jessway and Curtis, who are my
Yo.
fellow commentators for today. We are going to be watching a race for the BfBB bracket between Univa and ConkerHax. Should be a pretty good one, both in the 58 range. Both really good runners, so we'll definitely have a good race. And Conker is actually going to opt to do the needleless route, which is a newer and definitely a lot less consistent route, so it'll be cool to see how that factors into the play here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see both these guys. You know, they were both at the top of their groups in the group stage, both going 2-0, so it'll be definitely really exciting to see what they can pull out here.
Yeah, Univa just showed just how consistent he's gotten at this game for as long as he's been playing. So we'll see if Conker's route allows him to save time over him and pull out a victory, or if Univa's consistency is going to pull. And Conker is really consistent as well. Like, you have to be such a good player to go for a route like this in a race.
It'll be interesting to see, just because, you know, we were talking about this earlier, like Conker, his route with needleless, it has a lot of potential to save a lot of time over Univa, but there's also a lot of room for him to make mistakes, and kind of, it'll be kind of up to him to show that he really has the consistency and the skill to make his route work for him and not the other way around.
Yeah, so I believe Conker said he's going to be going for the sort of easier version of needleless, where he doesn't have to do the cannon one frame. So I think that's only about 20 seconds slower. So like his potential time save for the route's probably going to be, I would guess, like 30 seconds he can save if everything goes like perfectly, you know, the way that he wants it to. Which is actually just about the amount of time in between these two players' times. So
yeah, it could really make a break.
yeah, if Conker has a good run, he can probably get a 58 or a low 59. And it really just depends on how Univa plays. But he definitely has some extra time save that's going to help him out. So we won't be seeing that until a little bit later, though.
Yeah, right now we're gonna come up to hammer skip. So this is gonna be the first point where we might see these runners diverge. Hopefully, we'll see some good play from both of them.
Univa at the last second decides to take the checkpoint there. It's kind of a safety strat in case he doesn't get.
I don't think so. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's not good.
You could see it there too. Yeah.
Yeah, Conker trying to be a little faster and skip that checkpoint, but unfortunately misses getting the checkpoint above the.
Yeah, and I kind of, in this tournament, I kind of want to see more runners. I know what I liked seeing something from Jack Alaka. He's been doing it in his runs, where he goes for like a bash on the robot as he goes up, so that he guarantees the checkpoint, so he minimizes his time loss, going for the drown. So I think like that's something that I would like to see more from the runners, if they're kind of going for those riskier like drown strats.
Univa did the slide bash on the way down, fans.
Yeah, I noticed that.
We're probably gonna see both of these guys do Pat's hammer, if I had to take a guess.
Yeah, Univa definitely does it. I'm actually not sure if Conker does it. I feel like at this point he kind of should, though, because of that time loss. It's definitely not fun missing hammer skip, especially when you don't get the checkpoint at all.
Yeah, he's probably thinking that way. Like, you have to be thinking that you're not in a great spot if you missed hammer skip.
Right.
It's the first trick in the game. Oh no, he's opting for the consistent. I mean, if he's not confident with Pat's hammer, then it's probably smarter to just do this anyway.
Yeah, this is probably a lot safer of a call. I'm sure he just doesn't want to be any more behind, because he can definitely still bring this back easily. We're only 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Univa doing a little bit of an old strat, doing Squid's house first, and only loses a second and a half to do it that way.
Yeah, when it comes down to a race, like you're kind of looking for those more like comfort strats. You're not, you know, trying to mix anything up. And Univa, you know, he's on and off sometimes, so he might just want to do that just to feel more comfortable with his route.
Yeah, this is the first point where we're gonna see the routes diverge. So,
I like that even like that taxi skip tech there from both of the runners, like even that kind of has a subtle difference in how they set it up, which I think is one of the neat things to notice about the game. You notice how like Conker kind of jumped out and then jumped towards the taxi, whereas Univa just went straight for the middle of the taxi pad, and I think that kind of is representative of a lot of the cool like small optimizations that runners decide whether or not they want to try to do, or the different preferences that they have.
Yeah, this game is arguably more movement-based than trick-based, honestly. Even though you see a lot of flashy and somewhat difficult tricks, if your movement isn't good, you're not going to improve your times to the lengths that you probably would want to, because this game has very open movement options, so just any little things could add, just some time here or there.
So Conker got hit by a sink right before the first button. I don't know if that matters if he's using the strats that he's going to use, because he did lose an extra pair of underwear.
Yeah. Guess we'll find out in a second.
So yeah, this is where you're seeing the route diverge. Univa is going to go through the other way through downtown street.
This could be a little bit spooky for Conker just because he's on that 1 health. So, well, now he's got the underwear, but it's always a little bit sketch to see that Tartar bot just kind of there with the risk of losing the run. He doesn't want to lose any more time than he needs to right now. Oh, there's a sink. Oh.
It's interesting that he gets the Thunder Tiki like where you would go if you got the copper sock, but he doesn't. I don't know how many shinies that gives, but it's interesting that he goes out of his way for that. So, yeah, you're seeing him go up to the bus stop up here to switch to the Sandy. It loses a little bit of time to do this, but it's way easier than doing the cannon one.
So there we go. So yeah, while
okay,
got the wall, but he saved it. Yeah,
we got backups though.
Yeah, that would have been really slow if he didn't get that backup strat.
Just looking over at Univa's route, he's about to enter. Well, he's entering the Sea Needle, which is a very cycle-based level. Like one mistake will put him very behind.
Yeah,
if he doesn't recover it well. But I mean, at this level, he should be pretty consistent with it, barring any stupid things that can happen.
Well, you never know. Just like the thing with Sea Needle is that any small variations and the usual route can kind of have a huge ripple effect for the rest of the columns going down, and it can throw off even the better runners.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like particularly hard to try and recover Sea Needle when you can't really, predict what the cycle is going to be if you just happen to be a little bit off. It's kind of tedious, which is why some people, I think, like Conker, opt to not do it because, why would you? It's just kind of it's just a slow level and can be really annoying like that. Oh, he recovered it though. We're good.
Yeah, it was a decent recovery. He didn't quite get the interesting quirk where if you get caught under a Tiki, you get to dive straight down again. Didn't lose a ton of time. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think with runners at skill levels like this, Sea Needle's not usually really a problem. It's usually bread and butter, but some people like it, some people don't. It really just depends. But yep, Univa cleaned it out just fine. So for a while, you're gonna see, a difference in where they are in their game. It's gonna look like Univa is a little bit behind, but Conker has some, difficult tricks coming up later on in the run.
Yeah, the two runs should look a lot closer around Sand Mountain, I would say. That's when they would look pretty similarly paced.
So with Conker's route, he is going for GCC, right? That's what he's going to see later. Yeah. So I think that's like one of the bigger trade-offs of this kind of needleless route for runners that are at the high level is like you get this you get to avoid Sea Needle, which is really slow segment, but the tricks that you have to replace for it are kind of difficult, and it can be really hard to be consistent with them.
So you saw Conker blitz straight through rooftop, says he didn't have to collect any of the steering wheels because by skipping Sea Needle you skip the spatula for Mrs. Puff. But you're gonna see Univa have to go through a very cycle-based kind of rooftops to get all the wheels in a fast. So let's see if his movement's on point enough to make the cycles.
I gotta say, I love the character that like the annoy Squidward's Pat exudes just for the game. Like it really gives it that shine that a lot of the runners like. That's one of the reasons a lot of people run this game is just because, like, on top of the really good movement and stuff, this is just such a great homage to the franchise, and all the character that came from the series really shines in this game too.
This game is a work of art.
Yeah.
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 There's another one.
Alright, so we're seeing Conker come up to Sponge Glide. I'm pretty sure he does the early Towers Glide. It would make sense with this.
There's another one.
Yeah, this trick is still like pretty new. I know some people have been having trouble with it, but I think for the most part the runners that have been competing have been doing pretty well with it. But it can be an issue point. I know I've seen a few races where people have had a little bit of a struggle with it, so we'll see how fast he can pick it up.
Yeah. The tricky thing about this trick isn't really the difficulty of it. It's like all of the good runners have been doing the old Sponge Glide for as long as they've been playing, and now they have to switch up their timing. Like
Yeah,
it just takes some
exactly.
getting used to.
Yeah, but Conker really just showing that he's picked it up. He got that first try, so he's gonna look really good here. Oh, as I
What?
say that,
Ooh,
as I
wait a
say
minute.
that. That was a little sus, but he picked it back up. I'm not sure how he bashed in the air. That was interesting.
Having a little bit of trouble. Yeah, this part can be
Yeah.
the more
Yeah,
difficult part of this trick.
everybody does this part differently, it seems.
Yeah, for
Everybody
sure.
spaces the damage boost differently. Everybody jumps out differently. Doing the
Conker with a little bit of
spin.
spin to win action here. All right, and meanwhile, Univa gonna be cleaning up downtown here, just exiting Lighthouse. But yeah, like we mentioned earlier, you're gonna see these routes a little bit different. It really looks like Univa's behind, but that's definitely not the case. And I'm really interested to see how Conker does on these later game tricks, just to make up for doing needleless. I think it can be a really big. It can have a really big impact on his time, and it's going to be interesting to see if Univa can stay on his heels and try to cash in on those mistakes if they happen.
All right, so we got the Sponge Glide coming up for Univa and Tower Climb coming up for Conker. Two pretty tricky segments of the game.
Yeah, for the most part, I think like these guys, you know, when it comes to Tower Climb, they usually get it like first, second try, and you're gonna see Conker there gets it first try. So
Yeah.
really clean stuff from him.
Conker choosing to take the ledge grab on the tubes only loses like, I'd say like a second from going all the way up the flags.
It's pretty negligible, especially in this race environment that we have. It's pretty negligible as long as he gets the trick first try. That's the most important part. So it's good that we saw that from him, and we're gonna see. Right now we have Univa going for the one frame. Took a second there, but we're also gonna see Conker go for the cutscene skip, which he's gonna get pretty free, and then we're gonna see Univa is going right here for early Towers Glide, having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, here's where you really see that aspect. Like Univa's been a consistent player for a while, but this trick just requires you to completely change your muscle memory.
Yeah, it's really hard to be consistent with a new trick. You know, it takes a lot of practice, and even, you know, the runners that have been doing this for a while, it's a really new environment to be in when you have different tricks that have come out recently. But he's gonna get it, and so we're gonna see Univa enter the pier. So he's not too far behind Conker right now in terms of where they're at.
Yeah, he's actually playing really clean right now. Like, he hasn't made any mistakes at all.
Yeah.
Besides that one attempt at the glide that didn't work. But
Yeah.
the good thing about that glide is that it's really easy to recover it because the setup is not super demanding. You don't have to be dead perfect. It's kind of a little bit of a wider range where you can land. So that's like one plus side to it out of the menu.
All right, so we're gonna see Univa right there. Kind of had a little bit of a blood draw on the robots, but with a little nod. But he's doing all right. And I think like you kind of mentioned, like that consistency from Univa right now. He needs to keep playing clean, just stay on Conker's heels so that he can just wait. He can just sit there and wait for Conker to make mistakes and just overtake him right away. That's
Yeah, because
kind
he's
of
in really
the
good shape
idea.
right now.
Yeah, for
Especially
sure.
with the fact that Conker missed hammer skip in the beginning. That kind of took away like a big portion of the time save that he would have gotten from doing this route in the first place. So, Conker kind of has to have a really good rest of the run if he wants to, stick with Curtis. Or why did I say Curtis? I read your name on my sidebar, dude. I'm so sorry. Univa. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I'm smart.
Dude, maybe
Intelligent.
one day. Maybe
I'm
one
an
day.
intelligent Battle for Bikini Bottom speedrunner.
All right, so we see Univa taking that left side Tiki right there. Gonna go for the cutscene skip. Clean. Meanwhile, Conker cleaning up phase 1 there. We're gonna see these manips, and I think for Poseidon, Poseidon is kind of an interesting segment because I think it's really interesting to watch the different ways that every runner kind of sets up their manips. And the thing about the the AI manipulations here is that it really doesn't make that big of a difference. It's I think you can save like 5 or 7 seconds or something with optimal manips, something like that. And every single runner I think has like their kind of own style for these manips. And it's just cool to see because they're not really they're not trying to avoid time, they're trying to really dig in and make those big brain manips so that they can get just a couple. It's only like like a second or so every time they get one of those good manips off. So it's a pretty subtle details there that make a big difference.
Yeah, with Poseidon, it's definitely one of those segments that like there's a lot of different things you can do that work and that are about equally as fast. So like as long as it works,
Yeah, whatever works.
yeah, whatever works for you is good
Yeah.
generally.
Yeah, and that's kind of what that goes into with like every runner has their own thing because each one is comfortable in a different way and they kind of pick it up. I don't know when I picked it up, but I think every runner kind of just picks it up at one point in their career. All right, so we have Univa coming in now. He's going to jump into the Poseidon fight as well. Conker on phase 3 here.
Yeah, just with the side-by-side comparison, just looking at these two's routes, it would look like Univa is about 2 minutes behind, a little bit less than that, but Conker's gonna have to take some time in mid-game to get some extra spatulas to get into the industrial park that Univa's not gonna have to do until later. So they're gonna sync back up a little bit, or at least get way towards about Sand Mountain.
Yeah.
And then after Industrial Park, it's gonna diverge a lot more.
Yeah, because I assume Univa's going to opt to not do Forbidden since he got the early towers. I assume that's probably the safest move.
Definitely.
I think it's fast too. I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, it's a couple seconds faster to do that. I think it's even still faster if you factor in 1 frame forbidden skip. Like if you aren't doing needleless route, then I think doing the route like this is still fast. Conker getting slapped once by Rubber Sandy. Didn't get hit though.
Yeah, getting hit there is about like the worst possible scenario. 'Cause that's one of the few things in Poseidon that'll actually lose you a decent bit of time. So it's definitely an avoid at all cost situation. Definitely worth giving up a minute or 2, or an optimal minute rather, to avoid that situation. Meanwhile, we got Conker in Poseidon, or sorry, the Tree Dome. Yeah, the Tree Dome. They're both Sandies.
They're both domes.
They're both domes. They're both Sandies. And he actually gets the other robot too. That's pretty clean actually. So decent RNG, cleaning up there from Conker.
Yeah, reacting to RNG in Bikini Bottom 2 is pretty important. You have Tree Dome and then Krusty Krab pretty soon after. Like RNG can lose you like a couple seconds, but it's good to be able to react to it well enough so that to minimize the.
We're gonna see Conker. Oh, actually, that's an interesting there. I didn't know what he was going for first, but he actually turned his camera there just so he could get an extra stack pull there, just to get some more shinies in this. Oh my goodness. That was,
Yeah, the
he spooked me.
trick's pretty easy, even if that happens.
Yeah, he spooked me.
He just had a ton of speed hitting that.
Yeah,
hitting
exactly.
that bump right there.
Yeah. He cleaned it up. Cleaned it up. Yeah, falling there is another one of those things where it's like, just don't fall. You know, you can get those janky setups like that, but just don't fall. You end up okay.
Conker's actually playing pretty good right now too. He hasn't made any major mistakes since like the beginning, so
Yeah,
he's doing all right.
yeah, and that's what's gonna keep this competitive, is like him staying clean so that he can take advantage of the route.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, he definitely has a chance to lead after all the route differences if he just keeps playing consistent.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting tool in his belt. Just the different route kind of gives him, even though he got
Ooh, this is
pretty
bad
sus RNG right
That's
there.
bad RNG.
That's really bad. But so that's gonna lose him a couple seconds there. But yeah, just having that route under his belt just to kind of make up for give him a little bit more leeway with the mistakes. But it does mean that he's gonna run into a few more opportunities for those major mistakes. So it's up to him to continue to play as consistently as he is. But right now he's looking pretty good, I gotta say. All right, so here we go. Conker going in Dream 1. Big day.
Going for slide skip first, good man.
And that's just kind of a good way to start. We'll see. Okay, he gets it first try. There we go.
It's just preference what spatulas you choose to do first.
Yeah.
But
All right. So Conker probably gonna go for
he's gonna do
Forbidden.
well. He's gonna do
Oh, he's
one of
gonna-
either forbidden or oil.
Yeah. Okay. He's probably gonna do oil, I think here. Yeah.
Yeah, oil
He's gonna-
skip.
Yeah. All right. So he's gonna do oil skip here while Univa getting ready for chum bucket ball skip here.
Setting it up on the right side. That's kind of an old thing, but I don't know. There's not really.
Hey, watch it, bud.
Are you talking about Conker?
Yeah,
You don't
Watch
set
it.
it up on the right. I would set it up on the right. What are you talking about?
I set it up in the middle and I zoom in my
Okay,
camera. So I
maybe-
guess I'm not one to talk.
No, maybe it is an old thing. I don't know. I guess what do you consider
I'm a
old?
proud member of the right side gang, so I don't
Right
want to hear
side
any
gang.
of that.
Let's go, Jared. Right side for life. All right, so now I think we're gonna see Forbidden here. So let's see how this goes for Conker. While no, did he miss?
Oh, he's
no,
not
he
doing
didn't.
for it.
Oh, he's
doing
gonna.
raw.
Okay. Yeah. So this, I mean, that makes sense. Like he can't afford to miss Forbidden at this point in the run. Like if he misses it, if he spends too much time on it, it's a huge deal for him.
Yeah, it's not a terrible call. It just would have been nice for him to probably have that extra
Yeah.
little bit of leeway.
Yeah, I think he kind of has to make some trade-offs in the risk department here. He kind of took some interesting risks in the beginning of the run, so he has to kind of take some more safer strats so that he can kind of leave time for himself in the late game for when he hits those critical tricks.
Univa entering Dream as well.
Yeah, he got pretty good, pretty solid RNG in the Crested Crab, so that's good. It's gonna give him a little bit of time saved to help him catch up to Conker here. All right, so Conker going for Sandy Nut. Let's see if he got it. Well, Univa getting that first try slide skip. Good stuff. So there we go. All right, so Conker gets the skip there, so that's good for him. And Univa, that was actually pretty cool. He just bowled off and pressed R. I haven't seen anyone do that yet.
You gotta space that though, or else you just kind of bowl past the trigger.
Yeah, bowl past the trigger. Yeah, that's clean swag strats here from Univa. He's gonna go. We're gonna see him go for oil skip here.
Oh, he's doing
Oh, he
no
didn't-
damage.
Oh,
No
okay.
damage. What a hero.
And he
Yeah,
gets it.
yeah,
Oh
there
my
you go.
goodness. What a legend, dude. First try. Alright, so that was clean there from Univa, and we have Conker going into Mermalayer right now. See if he can get the skip right here. He gets the one frame. Okay. Alright, so that's gonna
Still
that's
opting
gonna
to go
clean there.
around.
Yeah.
You saved a little time off.
I go around there. It's it's a little scary for me, but I think everyone else just goes through. All right, so we're gonna see now. Univa's gonna go for Sandy Nut. So let's see how he does here. All right, here it comes.
Most intense trick in the entire game.
The thing with this is like, it feels like it should be really consistent, but it's just the threat of if you miss it, it's brutal. It loses so much time.
You lose a lot of time.
It
If you
loses
miss it.
so much time. So, you know what, Conker. At first, let's see what happens to Univa. Okay, so Univa gets a first try, and I want to come back to Conker really quick. He opted not to get the checkpoint there from Mermaid Man. I've seen a few runners in this tournament already kind of decided to go for that because it only loses half a second. So just a small subtle choice there that I noticed from Conker. Kind of comes into play on this third button here. If you get knocked off, you're kind of at a loss. But all right, he's gonna clean it out. So
Yeah, he's doing
ended up
good.
paying out. Yeah. All right, Univa getting the single jump, but he got his distance out of it for sure.
I think Univa is slowly but surely catching up. Definitely not doing Forbidden helped,
Yeah.
but it seems like overall his play is just a tiny bit cleaner than Conker's is.
Oh,
right
as
now.
we say that.
Commentators curse.
Commentators curse. All right, so
I am
Univa's gonna
so
lose
sorry.
like 15 seconds there, but
Yeah, it's really nothing major though. It's not too bad. The camera shakes to let us know that
Yeah.
he's not having it.
that you already know. When you see the camera shake,
you already know. Conker opting to do the slams for the Towers of Power.
Interesting. I haven't
It
seen
saves-
anyone do like the double slam before. It's not a really common strat there, so that's interesting to see from Conker. Conker's full of he's got his bag of tricks today for us with the needleless route.
Let's see how he reacts to slide skip.
All right, also making that decision not to. Okay,
barely-
that's
he,
it. Yeah,
like,
he
barely-
actually barely got that. I was a little bit worried that he would miss that one, but he closed it out.
He still got it.
Yeah, and Univa also making that decision not to go for the checkpoint on Mermaid Man. So again, that kind of comes into play on that third button. We'll see where that goes. But right now, both players really clean mid game. I think so far. You know. Not too much in the way that's going to knock him. Definitely nothing that's going to knock him out of the competition for sure. Both players looking pretty good.
Let's see how Conker's security tunnel goes. He got past the first cliff without really a lot of trouble.
Okay, that was a little bit of an off there, but he's going
Alright,
to stick it back up. Yeah, he's going to come back.
Sometimes security tunnel can be a little awkward to try and recover.
Yeah.
Just because of the electric turret right there. Sometimes, you know, just getting the right boost off of it and the right height to actually get yourself up. It's not too often that it'll happen. It's kind of rare, but when it does, it's, you know, it can be a little annoying. He's fine. Conker is A-okay.
Yeah, and he did get a pretty solid RNG there where he could just bowl through the dogs into the cowboy bot over there, but so that was good for him. And then Univa also cleaning up with the Towers of Power here. He's gonna move on to slide skip as Conker finishes up Mermalair. So you can notice right now Conker at 33 spats to Univa's 32. So that's where that sea needle spat comes in. Conker having a little bit of trouble
What-
pressing the button there.
What even happened to him?
I think he just hit it at a
Couldn't hit
really
it.
weird angle.
All right, so this is where you're going to see another route diversion because of needleless. Conker has to enter rock bottom early and do the trick called bathroom boost to get an extra spatula before Industrial Park.
Bathroom boost. We're gonna see. I think that's like kind of a trick there that has been pretty consistent for everyone that's tried it. It's a little new. It's not that new anymore, but
Well, the setup that makes it easy is relatively new, I think, because it used to be a one frame nobody ever used. But
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think we
now
ever
we-
knew that you could just do this.
yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, and then you can get it's really fast actually. Yeah.
Yeah, compared to just walking to trench after, like in the middle of rock bottom 2, I think this loses like not even 10 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, especially with this newer setup.
But
It's just
but yeah,
fast.
it's necessary in Conker's route because
Yeah.
otherwise he wouldn't have enough spatulas before industrial.
All right.
All right,
All right. So
Univa
yeah,
approaching the end
close
of.
to that. Yeah. Wow, Conker gets that clean cycle. Doing the laundry. He's gonna enter. He's gonna enter.
Opting to take the
Sand
shinies.
Yeah, he's at 26, and I'm actually not. I'm sure he's got his shiny route in mind with that going into Sandmine. He's gonna have to spend 1,500 here. Gonna end up with 1,000 after.
Yeah, and the needleless route, like it might look like Conker is way more ahead on shinies than what he needs compared to Univa, but like he's with this route, he's gonna be paying for 2 crab spatulas and doing some grinding in the late. So while it looks like he's way ahead on shinies, like the route's way more precise.
Yeah, and
when
so
you're doing 2 crab spatulas and needle.
So Univa actually behind on shiny here, so he's got to go for this right here. He doesn't get the bowl, so he's gonna have to do a little bit of an extra step, but he's good on shinies after hitting that stack.
Yeah, you have to like go off to the left of the taxi pad a little bit to set up getting the cutscene skip. And if you don't know that and still have to go for the shinies, it's not great because it loses a lot.
Yeah, Conker with a clean billboard skip. They're both actually. This is looking like more and more in sync as time passes. I think Univa has just had that slightly cleaner level of play that Conker's been having a little bit of trouble with. So I think that's kind of let him kind of get closer to what looks like a synchronized route.
Yeah, I think as far as this goes, Univa's actually quite a bit ahead right now. I mean, factoring in, I think Conker has to do Drain the Lake. I don't know if Univa does that or not. I can't.
Nah, I would
No, I
imagine
don't
he
think so.
doesn't.
I can't remember if that's in the old route, but so Conker has Drain the Lake. He also has
Ooh,
Grind
getting hit.
and GCC.
Yeah. Right,
So
is he gonna? I don't think he's definitely not gonna die here, which is good. But
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
just-
hit in a really weird spot.
yeah, and
At
it's
first.
that kind of slop that I think is you're right. Like that's gonna make a big difference here with Univa, and it's gonna become more and more apparent as we enter the late game coming up in a bit. Alright, so up next after Sand Mountain here, these guys are going to do some cleanup and then they're going to head into Industrial Park. And that kind of goes a few ways. Sometimes both the runners have a fine time with their minutes, but it can kind of vary, and we might see it here. And it could be a big deal for Conker, who's kind of started to fall behind a little bit on Univa. It could give him an equalizer that could give him put him in a good spot, but it could also do the same for Univa. It could put Conker further and further behind and kind of end up splitting them apart. So we'll see where that goes, but it's something to keep an eye out on.
So you saw both of the runners get the stack up on top of Guppy Mound near Mrs. Puff, but Univa opting to switch to Sandy, like right since the bus stop's like right there, which is a little bit faster than going for the one out in the lodge. And Univa doesn't get the sock, which I think makes it even faster.
Yeah,
to
and
do it
that's
way.
kind of what enables that Sandy switch right there, is the ability to not go for that sock and replace it with stuff earlier is a big deal.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what sock he gets instead of the sock under the bridge. We're gonna find out.
Probably Dutchman sock or Castle sock and Goo Lagoon too before kids turn over the moat. That's probably what we're gonna see. All right, so while Univa finishes up here, he's gonna head into Industrial Park. Conker's already here. He's entered phase 1 already. Actually, it almost looked like he got hit, because sometimes RoboPat just takes forever to get going and get a bowl going.
Conker practicing his one frame jumps in between hits.
Yeah, that's just the thing that a lot of runners like to do, that you kind of don't have any time, and just practicing the one frames, like you never get hit by Patrick anyways, so there's nothing really better to do with your time than practice your one frames.
I'm just waiting for Conker to get whacked by RoboPad after you said you never get whacked by another commentator's curse.
Yeah, I think so far like Conker has kind of been the target on those ones, but he's doing all right. Everyone's doing all right.
We're kicking, bros.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, like we're not going to see it until phase 3 is really where things start to get a little bit spicy. But you know, when we get to phase 3, those manips and people have put a little bit of time to analyzing those. You know, you have like the Alex, the so-called Alex manips. Alex 97 spent a lot of time kind of analyzing those, just to give everyone a kind of a better sense of how RoboPatrick moves. That phase 3, the phase 3 manips, like it almost looks random from Patrick, but there is a little bit of a rhythm to it, and every runner kind of has their own style when it comes to those manips, but it really is critical because getting a bad manip on any of the phase 3 hits loses a lot of time relative to the fight. You can lose up to like 20 seconds on one or two bad manips. If you have like an awful one, like it's like 15 seconds.
You definitely want to make sure you're getting consistent maps. Even if he lands on the side, that's just way better than having land in at the back.
Yeah.
You can't sleep on phase 2 though. We've seen some unfortunate things happen in phase.
Yeah, phase 2 is just kind of the phase where things usually go right, but sometimes you just have that awkward like landing spot from Patrick. The box doesn't come down quite right, and it just makes it awkward. And if you're not ready for it, it can kind of end up in a death like you might have seen. So yeah, so that kind of like lag to the like waiting for the box to land can be really weird.
Right, not gonna happen to Conker though.
Yeah, he's good. Actually, right now, Univa and Conker are almost on top of each other. Univa about to go into phase 3 as Conker starts it. So this is the runners are almost pretty much synced up at this point, which is not a good thing for Conker. This is kind of not where he wants to be right now.
Yeah, if you're Conker, you are probably looking to be a little more ahead considering the amount of potential the route has. But I mean, we still have the entirety of late game. Definitely has time to make up for what happened.
Yeah, he's not, and like I said, like we're gonna see here, we're gonna see how Univa's manips go as that gets geared on. Conker doing okay. I think his first manip was pretty solid, but keep an eye on both of the runners right now, see how the manips go. Yeah, so Univa gonna have to do a little bit of walking, not too much, but Conker right on top of it. So that's looking good for Conker.
Conker had the read for where he was in.
Yeah, he had the big brain reads there. So keep an eye on this last one, this next one too. Univa going into his second one, Conker going into his final one here. Conker's had two pretty good. You know, that second one was pretty much perfect, and the first one was solid as well. Univa still has some space for error. Yeah, so okay, both of the runners kept pretty much. It almost looked like they were on opposite sides of the same manip. So, yeah, pretty equal time loss for both of these guys there. But Univa does still have one more, while Conker, you know, only one kind of suspect manip, while the other two were good. He's going to go into JF2 as Univa finishes up his last manip, and this last one could lose him a bit of time if he's not careful.
Yeah, this is where you're going to see the route diverge again after Industrial Park. Conker's going straight to JF2 because he doesn't have to warp to Bikini bottom to enter rock bottom at this. So he's just going to go straight down the menu to do the backtracking segment.
All right, so that was, yeah, Univa takes a little bit of a different route. And that was good, a good manip for right there. I want to mention that Univa got a pretty good last manip. So overall, I think their manips were pretty even in that phase. So nothing given, nothing lost for both of them.
We're gonna see if Conker goes for rock skip.
Okay, he doesn't. And that's a pretty safe choice from him. You know, he's kind of a little bit behind right now. While it is potential time save, it's also potential time loss. And like I said earlier, you know, he's kind of trying to micromanage those situations that he's trying to get time loss out of.
That's an interesting strat he does. He does a double jump slam.
Yeah, the double jump
around.
slam.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
hey,
definitely-
if
yeah.
you're like me and can't time your jump after your bash, then that's probably the safer thing to do.
Yeah, and it's kind of like he's got that bag of tricks. You know, he just does things slightly different than a lot of other runners, and it adds a lot of flavor to the run. You know, it's a very Conker type of vibe when you watch his runs.
Yeah, had a bit of trouble with that cruise boost, but
Yeah, okay.
it's a pretty weird spot to get it. He went for the crabs boost first. It didn't really work out, so he had to recover it.
All right, so Conker is going to do Drain the Lake, and he gets hit by the hammer, so that'll let him at least hit the bots without getting hit it, but a little sloppy. Meanwhile, Univa and Rock Bottom.
Yeah, doing the strat that was found where you zoom in the camera so you get a more optimal placement after the splash landing.
Yeah, and I feel like that's super new. That was only like a couple weeks ago, right, or something like that.
I think he found it.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
Well, he's the one that's at least been using it, yeah, for sure. And then I think he made a comment on it a couple weeks ago, and then people have been kind of trying to use that in runs lately. So we'll see. First, we got to mention though, Univa getting a clean start to his Sponge Museum.
Yeah, it takes some really consistent movement to get through here without mistake.
So let's see where this goes. Another first try cruise boost. So far, Univa's Sponge Museum looking really clean. It's Conker kind of doing that move into JF2, and he's going to go for the fast strat too. I think the only other... Oh, and he got hit! Oh, okay, not quite. It was close though. He almost had it, but I think
you
the
have to be pretty precise in that teeter totter if you're not going to wait for it to go up.
Yeah.
Like you saw him do the spin there to try and walk off the platform and get a later bash, then the game probably would have. But you have to be pretty precise with your timing there to get that.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a new optimization in Museum. You get the spatula first and then go up and get the sock in the painting. It saves about a second to do it that way.
That's been the source of new golds for some of the older runners that like these guys that have been doing it for a while. But overall, besides that hiccup, not a bad museum. His backup was all right. But I think the only other person I've seen go for like the tire strat so far has been Jack. I'm not sure if other people have gone for it, but those are the two guys that come to mind when I think of it in the tournament.
Conker makes it through the hardest boss in any video game ever.
All right, Univa sleepy skip first try, so big stuff there for him too. So far, Conker, he's gonna have to go through these segments right now. He's gonna do what Univa's doing, but a little later. But Univa's looking really good right now, so he's gonna have a hard time kind of making up the difference here.
Going around the left of the checkpoint, that's interesting. I've never seen that. I'm not sure if that's faster, but I've never seen somebody go straight there.
That's probably just a preference. All right, so Conker, here we go in Goo Lagoon 2. He's gonna do over the moat, probably gonna go for the castle sock here, but he's also got to do kids. So this could be a huge segment as he kind of flubs the RCB there, having a little bit of trouble. But this can be a huge segment for both time loss and time save. If he can get it really cleanly.
Yeah, I think that
Univa,
sock
be good.
I think that sock's necessary for this round.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Going for the Jackalaka money strat here is he also goes for this stack too. So he's on that shiny grind like you guys mentioned earlier, trying to get a little bit more to catch up for that second crab spat. Meanwhile, Univa gonna do ballroom clip too.
Ooh, Univa having a little bit of problems.
All right, so while Conker does another cycle, Univa gonna get about, let's say, fourth try, which isn't too bad, but that is a little bit of time lost there. So both these guys kind of evened out. I still think Univa is kind of has a slight lead on Conker, but it's getting closer and closer.
Yeah, they're in the same segment now, but that doesn't entirely mean that they're close. I mean, just looking at it, I'd still say they're pretty close, but they're gonna go the opposite ways through the menu after they're done with Goo Lagoon.
Alright, so Conker didn't get quite the first try cruise boost, but he's still looking good. He's still got he's still got a solid cycle on kids, so he's looking pretty quick right now. Univa about to do kids as well, finishing up over the moat. Is Conker gonna get? Okay, so he's on the Chad cycle here. Is
You know, load cycle.
kids? Yeah.
Load cycle's definitely a little more forgiving than death cycle, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna see. Ooh.
All right, so here we go. We got
Univa
Univa.
opts to reload the level.
Pop-up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, opts to go for the pop up for the fans instead of taking the stairs.
All right, Univa almost actually got hit by the little dragon thing there, so that was kind of close for him, but he managed to avoid it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, he jumped. No.
good.
Okay, so that kind of miss spacing there from Univa. He got there really early, and it hurt him a lot because it made the cycle really awkward to hit. He didn't decide to jump around. He just kind of tried to stay there, but those platforms lower over time, so it kind of messed him up there.
One of the reasons I'm pretty sure for the little mistake there was probably because he had to reload the level to begin with because he missed the cruise boost on the death cycle.
Yeah.
So he's probably less used to doing kids this way.
Alright, so he's gonna finish it up there, but Conker now he's doing rock bottom as Univa's going to go into downtown 2 and then into JF2.
Depending on how Conker plays here, this race could actually get pretty close. Like this could come down to a lot of things in the late game.
Yeah, and Conker
Okay,
actually,
hold
I
on,
think he had a slow cruise boost there, so he didn't get enough distance on his bubble bouncer to get this spat, but made up for it. So, and missing kids is obviously way worse than just missing a fast cruise boost. So, yeah, this is it. This is the opportunity that Conker needed to kind of catch back up, put his stake back in the race. So we'll see where he can go with it, but he's really got to. Oh, okay. So yeah, he misses that, but he's really kind of got to step up his play and make sure that he's looking clean if he wants to bring this back.
Yeah, it always sucks missing the strat of the shush tikis because it's always weird to set it up again when you're not coming from getting the song.
From it. Yeah.
But Conker got it the second try, so.
All right, so now let's see how his museum goes, and then we're also going to see Univa. We'll keep an eye out to see if Univa does why can't I remember the name? But the rock skip thing. I think that's the name of the trick, actually.
Univa shook his camera a little bit, stating that he's displeased with how that grew.
All right, so we see Conker. Conker's doing all right here, actually. He's
Conker's also doing the tires.
Yeah, so he there we go. So he got
the
it.
painting first.
Okay, he got the ledge grab, but he got it first try. So, oh, okay. So Univa getting hit there. Actually, I think he did that on purpose to get it, make it easier for him to get that. But oh, it looks like he's gonna go for rocks here.
Now that box is the fastest place to get a cruise boost when you don't already won. Oh, but he's gonna go
He's
for
gonna
it.
go for it. He's
We're
going
right.
for it. Oh, he went for the single.
Yo,
Oh my goodness! He got a first
bang.
try.
That was a good. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, he
did that in the last race.
Yeah. Oh no, and Conker
Oh,
missed it.
Conker.
Okay, so he's gonna recover that, but
He's
That's
gonna go
not-
for the backup.
not what you want to see. Definitely not fast. He hit the
Yeah.
Duplicatotron too. So okay, he just
Well, he
won that.
probably hits the
Yeah, he was
duplicator
fine.
anyway.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
See, Conker probably realizing that if he reloaded and went for it again, like he probably had not a great chance of getting it second try.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's just a safety thing to
Yeah.
go for the backup.
And I actually don't think it's that much slower. If it's slower at all, I think than reloading. Actually, I think it's faster.
don't
but
think-
either way, it's safe.
I don't think it's slower than reloading. I think they're about even if
Yeah.
you get it second try.
All right, so Conker gonna close out at rock bottom, while Univa kind of finishes out his canyons here. Goes on to the
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, pretty good JF2.
All right, so Conker's gonna go into Murmler. We're gonna see how he does in ballroom. Univa's gonna finish up his JF2 here. Then he go into Kelp
Oh,
Forest.
that was so
first
fast.
try.
that setup was so
Yeah.
fast.
Absolutely.
And he got
That
it
was
first
really
try.
good.
That was really clean. Alright, so let's see how he can do in prawn. But right now I think Conker's doing pretty solid.
Yeah, he got that really quick setup and got it first try. It's impressive.
You know, Conker's actually in a really good shape right now. I think he might actually be in the lead because Univa still has to go back and do the Forbidden Skip Spatula too.
Yeah, and another clean.
Yeah, that's about the same
clean
speed of
prawn.
a spatula as GCC is, I think.
Yeah.
So I think, depending on like how quickly they get in a kelp forest, I think it's easier to tell who's ahead. Conker's on good pace for shinies. That's good. He's gonna get 50 in Squid Stream to make up for the 50s down. And Univa's also good shinies for the one crab spatula.
Yeah, so both guys get on shinies. We're gonna see them enter kelp forest now.
Conker going for the leaf strat.
Left side game. I usually turn to the right. I think a lot of people turn to the right as well, so
Here we are.
we're gonna see Conker's gonna go into slide as Univa sets
Univa
up.
also goes for it. He does
Yeah, there we go.
slightly faster setup. Very slightly faster setup.
Oh, and okay, Conker actually he bubble wanted there to kind of fix his momentum there. That was a little close, but cleaned it up.
Yeah, usually kelp finds goes are, but it's always pretty scary when you
Yeah,
just mess it up and just barely get it.
There's always the potential for something to go wrong there. Conker kind of did. I think he walked past the spatula actually when he loaded into that.
Yeah.
It was
I feel like everybody does that every once in a while.
yeah.
They just forget where the spatula is supposed to be for a hot second.
All right, so these guys, they're pretty close. They're running different routes again. So Conker still has some more late game stuff that he needs to do that can be really hard. You know, he's still got Goo Cage Clip coming up, while Univa has kind of some more consistent run-of-the-mill spatulas coming up. So it's right now it's looking good for Conker, but he still has really, he's still got some bigger tricks coming up that can really make up the difference for Univa if he doesn't pull through on him.
Yeah, the rest of Kelp Forest is pretty autopilot from here.
Yeah, I think up next we're gonna see Univa clean up in Dream 2, and then Conker I think is also gonna do. They both have Squid's Dream still on the line, so we're gonna see both of that from these guys. Yeah, so Conker's gonna go into Squid's Dream. So let's see if he can get this first try cruise boost. Yeah, there we go.
You can miss one or two there, and you're still all right. But you definitely want to see it first try just for that consistency.
Yeah, it's a lot less stress when you don't have to worry about hitting it. Right, so this is kind of where you start to see the route change kind of go into effect.
Ooh, Univa missed.
Conker. Okay, yeah, so yeah, Univa a little bit slow to the cruise boost, but Conker managed to get everything just fine. And so Conker only needs to do Squid's Dream, but Univa also has to go back.
This cycle is going to be so tight from Univa.
Yeah.
He took an extra blue note than he needed. Okay, he still got it. He took
got
an
it.
extra blue note than he needed to, and and he missed 2 cruise boosts. That was pretty close.
Yeah, really tight, but good stuff there from Univa to close it out, showing us that high skill cap. Is Conker he's got his 65. We're gonna see Univa go back for Forbidden.
Do CB Forbidden. The easy.
The Chad strats. All right, so he's gonna get that.
Wow, this is actually so close. This
Yeah,
is crazy.
it's really close.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is
so at this
really
point,
close.
yeah, like besides Goo Cage Clip coming up for Conker, both of these routes now are pretty synced, so you can get a really good idea now of where the routes are.
Conker had a little bit of trouble with that pole boost, kind of offset that cycle for the
Oh no, he slipped!
That's
They're gonna be about even right now. Univa's
Yeah.
gonna make a really big mistake here.
Oh
gonna-
no.
Oof.
Univa's just gotta play consistent.
That was pretty much the worst case scenario for
He
Conker.
barely
I
missed
think.
that ledge.
Yeah, he only slipped off too, and I think if he had another second to react if he had anticipated, maybe it wouldn't have gone that way.
Oh,
but-
Univa! Univa!
Oh no!
Oh, they both
It's
did it.
even.
Oh.
Oh my
What?
Okay, so
He
I
was
didn't.
just a little too far forward to get up on the platform.
Oh my god, dude. So this is pretty much like even at this point, any loss that Conker saw just as much from Univa here. All right, Univa lands it though. It's fine. So Conker's gonna finish this up, or finish up this first segment of Dutchman here.
Takes a second on
Yeah,
top of the goo tanker to set up the jump.
Okay.
He's probably feeling the nerves at least a little bit because he probably wasn't confident in the jump spacing there.
This is a really close race right here. Both these guys, I think, like on one flat pace.
Yeah, if you factor in GCC, it's probably like a 10-second difference between them.
Yeah, and this is like it's gonna be hard, I think, for Conker because right now he has to get like first try GCC. It's gonna be
Yeah,
hard.
assuming-
He can't afford to miss it.
Assuming neither of them make any mistakes up to that point, then yeah, Conker needs to really get a good GCC.
Conker have a little bit of trouble getting cruise boost off here. Gets it there though.
Those manual cruise boosts are always kind of weird to
Yeah.
get. That's the only one you do in the.
Okay, so yeah, Conker's gonna go for the backup. Yeah, so this is a little bit tighter for Conker now. He's slipped up a bit. Univa's given him a little bit of slack, but he's still like with what's happened so far, he's got to stay really tight if he wants any hope of winning this one.
This is where that consistency is coming in. That's an interesting setup for boat bash. I've never seen someone go right up against the boat.
All right, Univa with keeping the cruise boost.
Oh, Conker does another manual cruise boost. I don't like that one because I think the platform just makes it really weird to get. I think it moves around as you're on it.
There is also the option of going on a pole, but I think
Univa did that really risky pole boost. That pole boost doesn't save a lot of time, but if you fall off trying to do it, then you have to do like all of shipwreck again.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a warp up
Yeah,
to
you don't have
the
a warp.
Dutchman ship.
Yeah, and that can be really scary. All right, so right now,
But, I mean,
these
he
guys
got
are
it.
both so close. Conker's gonna try to break away here. He really has to rely on Univa kind of beefing on something at this point. It's really tight.
Yeah, this is like less than a 10-second difference right now. So if Conker were to somehow pull off GCC first try, which he's done before, it's not impossible.
It's not out
So
of
if
the
he does
realm.
that, and then he gets fast brain, because he's definitely gonna have to go for it to win. He can do it. He can definitely pull it off. It's not impossible. But Dutchman could also have some deciding factors we don't know yet. Univa could completely miss Dutchman skip and lose a ton of time, or vice versa. So
Yeah, it's kind of up to the players. The probability of them losing any time here is relatively low, but there is always that. But yeah, I think definitely we're gonna see when it comes to the brain coming up is where we're gonna see the biggest split in time, as well as for Conker. Can he nail that first try GCC? That is really the big deal here.
Both of them with pretty solid Dutchman skips.
Yeah, Univa a little bit of a stutter there, but nothing that lost him any real time.
oh, this is gonna be insane
This
if
is
he
the
gets
clutch
this first
moment.
All right, so this is it. Oh, he
No!
okay.
No!
Oh my god. All right, so this is it for Conker right now. Does he get it?
He's got to get it. He's got to get it first try.
He needs this.
Oh my
my god!
What?
Oh my god!
Legend!
What?
How does that even happen?
Oh,
He did it
he
twice.
has
He did it
Insane.
twice.
What?
Dude, if he
the
gets
second
that
run where he's got it
fast
first
brain,
try.
he's
He's got to go for it.
I can't
Is
believe
Univa
it.
gonna go for it?
And now
Un-
Univa, it's up to Univa now too, because if he doesn't go for fast brain, that gives Conker the opportunity. So it's really
Yeah.
it's on both players to
Does
really
Univa
perform.
rely
This
on
is
Conker
it.
to see
Oh,
fast break?
oh my
This
lord.
is it right here.
I'm
How
gonna
does
have
it?
a heart attack.
Are both players going to get the fast brain strat they need? Is Univa gonna go for that safer strat? We're about to
Is
find out
Univa-
right now. This is neck and neck.
Is Univa gonna rely on Conker missing it, or is he just gonna?
All right, so it's Conquer enters
Yeah, he's
phase one
gotta
here. We're
go
gonna see
for
what Univa goes for.
Okay, he's
He's
playing
gonna
it
go for
safe.
the
He's
safe
giving
strat.
Conker a
relying-
chance. He's
So
giving him a
he's
shot.
Conker
relying
a
on
chance here.
Conker missing it. Conker's gotta go for
It's
it.
gonna be really.
Oh,
Oh
he-
no!
Now he really needs to.
Oh no! I think that might be the nail in the coffin for Conker.
That's gonna
He
do
has,
it.
yeah. I think that right there, that miss is what's gonna cost him.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That
And
was it.
That was it
He's still
too.
going
Like,
for it. He's got a chance.
he's got to do it.
No, he
And I
doesn't.
mean, it's
gotta
about keeping
do
it
it.
close. At the end of the day, you know, this is so insanely close. This is not where we
He
thought
can
it
still
would be.
59, I think. Potentially. He can potentially be 59.
Alright, Conker having a little bit of trouble clipping in.
Yep,
Alright,
Univa gonna finish it off. with
Yeah,
a
Univa. Oh my
15.
god, and that was so close. So now, Conker. Okay, so he got. Okay, there we go. He saved it.
A little bit of trouble there, but he.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
So right now, Conker is gonna finish up too, but that was insane from
was-
Conker.
Oh my god.
If it wasn't for that, you know, that would have been it.
19-second difference. That was
So
And
incredible.
that, it
Close.
was up to the very end.
Oh my god.
Oh wow! Like, I just can't believe you hit GCC for. What did I tell him before the race? What did I tell him? I was like, you
Good
better.
game.
Good
Conker,
game,
what did I
Conker.
tell you
That was
before the race,
insane.
big guy?
I appreciate that, Jared. You blessed the run.
Dude,
That was a
so-
good race.
that was a great race.
Oh my god.
That was
90
so close.
Seconds.
Oh, jeez, my stomach.
Same here, bud.
Oh my god.
I was watching the screenshot. I was getting so scared near that.
I was too. I was too.
So right now, just for you guys, like Conker, when you hit that first try, GCC, what was going through your mind, dude?
Well, it was pretty cool. It was pretty anticlimactic as well because I just like dropped an input and died. So I was like, well, that's cool.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But then I got it. I was like, oh, cool.
It just that robo sponge, man. If that didn't happen, you would have had a
Oh.
clear cut shot. I think you might have been able to do it.
15 looked like
It was
19
19,
seconds.
yeah.
I don't know about that. It would have been a little closer though.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was a good race.
That was a really close
Goodness.
race.
Yeah. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Conker John. I was like thinking, should I go for fast brain? Because I didn't know if that made him lose enough time for me to go for it. So I just decided to go for the safe strats at the end.
If
Yeah, I
he would have had
respect
like
that
an
you played it
absolute,
safe.
yeah, if he would have had like an absolutely perfect lab, he would have just edged you out by like 1 or 2 seconds probably.
Yeah.
But because like a few things went wrong and then movement in the brain, you know, it was just like tiny little things. But you guys were neck and neck the whole entire race basically. I mean, it was just back and forth with these mistakes in different areas that were just evening out somehow like perfectly. I don't know. That was crazy.
Yeah. Univa, I did want to ask, so you know, with Conker doing that needleless route, was there anything that you kind of had on your mind when you were choosing what strats to do, what kind of risk you wanted to take? Was it really like, did you have anything in mind?
Honestly, I was just trying my best to keep it consistent and hoping that he had some mistakes on his end. Because I know GCC is obviously a hard trick. So yeah, I just decided to go for whatever I was comfortable with and not take any risks.
Yeah, it was smart though.
Yep.
Smart, safe play.
Some things did happen though, and I lost a lot of time. Like that Mermalaire jump. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, it happened in the last race too.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna be wrapping things up here with this race, though. GG's to both runners. You guys both had actually really good
was
runs, despite the few things that went wrong for both of them. That was still like very consistent play where it mattered. So
That was an insane race, guys.
yeah, that was fun to
That
watch.
was
Thanks
really
for it.
fun. Yeah.
We appreciate you guys. So Univa's gonna be moving on. Conker will be dropped down into losers, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then I'm not sure when the next race is. I think sometime later this week, isn't it?
You
I'm
get
looking
some-
at the schedule. I don't see when the next one is, but
We might not have one
schedule's
scheduled.
on.
Either way, though, we will have one scheduled at some point. So stay tuned. One of the next few days, we'll have some more races coming for you guys. But yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We're gonna head to an intermission really quick before the next race. So yeah, thanks guys.
Appreciate y'all.
See ya, boys.
Yeah.